what really happens the exact moment you close your eyes and drift into sleep. For most of us, it feels like we simply black out, disappear for a few hours, and then wake up again. Science tells us it's just the body resting and the brain reorganizing. But Edgar Cayce, the man often called the sleeping prophet, warned us that this is one of the greatest illusions of human life. Sleep is not just rest. It is the most important spiritual journey you take every single day. When your breathing slows, your muscles relax, and you feel yourself slipping into sleep, something remarkable is happening behind the scenes. Your soul is not unconscious. It is preparing to leave the physical body and embark on a journey into realms far beyond the physical world. That sensation of falling as you drift off. Cayce described it as the soul's first step away from its earthly anchor, a separation that happens in stages. First, your awareness of the physical fades. Sounds become distant, your sense of touch weakens, and your body feels weightless. Then your spiritual senses ignite. In this phase, known as etheric separation, your soul loosens itself like a diver stepping out of a heavy suit. And as it does, you are no longer confined to the limits of the body. You gain access to what mystics call the astral plane's realities layered on top of our own. Think about this. If you live 75 years, you will spend roughly 25 of them asleep. Would nature really waste 1/3 of your life on nothing more than shutting down? Cayce believed the answer was no. These hours are sacred. They are when your soul learns, heals, and connects to dimensions of wisdom your waking mind cannot grasp. That's why so many of humanity's breakthroughs, Einstein's insights, Tesla's inventions, and artists' masterpieces were seated in dreams. They weren't hallucinations. They were downloads from higher levels of consciousness. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Just as there are planes of higher wisdom, there are also shadow realms. Cayce warned that during sleep, our souls are exposed to forces both divine and destructive. On the astral plane, intention creates instantly. If you desire peace, you may find yourself in radiant gardens. But if you carry fear, anger, or despair, those emotions attract beings that thrive on them. These are what mystics call astral parasites, entities that feed on human energy. Have you ever woken from a nightmare so vivid you felt drained for the entire day? Or experienced sleep paralysis, that terrifying sensation of being held down by a dark presence? Cayce and countless traditions describe these moments not as mere brain glitches, but as real encounters with beings that exploit our vulnerability during sleep. Some of them masquerade as lost loved ones. Others connect to the silver cord, the energetic lifeline that ties your soul to your body, draining the vitality that should be restoring you. This is why spiritual traditions around the world have always emphasized rituals of protection before sleep, cleansing your space, praying, cultivating gratitude, even placing protective stones. These are not just symbolic gestures. They are energetic signals that strengthen your shield and keep your nightly journey safe. Cayce himself insisted that what you carry in your heart before closing your eyes will shape where your soul travels. Go to bed with gratitude, and you rise in strength. Go to bed with fear, and you risk feeding the very forces that want to hold humanity back. Yet protection is only the beginning. Once you learn to navigate consciously, sleep becomes the greatest classroom of your life. Through lucid dreaming, you can become aware inside the dream and choose where your soul goes. You can heal traumas, meet guides, and even ask questions that your waking mind cannot solve. But Cayce also cautioned, this is not a game. Interfering recklessly can disrupt lessons your soul needs to learn. The key is balance, exploring with intention while respecting the natural flow of the journey. Now let's talk about the three great planes Cayce described. The first is the etheric, close to our physical world, where dreams mirror daily life, but with strange distortions. This is where you may dream of your childhood home, but find extra rooms that never existed. The second is the astral, where emotion rules and creation happens instantly. Here you might live out fantasies, confront your deepest fears, or meet souls who have not moved on. The third is the higher mental plane, also called the Akashic Records. This is the infinite library of all knowledge, past and future, where the soul can receive revelations that transform entire lives. And this brings us to perhaps Cayce's most urgent warning. He said humanity is entering a time of awakening, a rise in consciousness that is changing the way our souls operate during sleep. More and more people who never had spiritual experiences are now reporting vivid lucid dreams, encounters with beings of light, and sudden flashes of knowledge. But with the door opening wider, the shadows are also pushing harder. Parasites, energy feeders, and forces of fear are becoming bolder because they know their time is running out. This is not just about you as an individual. It is about the collective. Every night, your soulless journey contributes either to the awakening of humanity or to the strengthening of the forces that want to keep us spiritually asleep. Your nightly experiences are part of a larger battle between light and shadow. That's why Cayce insisted that awareness is your first weapon. To know is to be half protected. To prepare is to be strong. So, what can you do? First, recognize that your nights matter as much as your days. Treat sleep not as wasted hours, but as sacred time. Create a nightly ritual. Cleanse your room, quiet your mind, and set an intention. Before closing your eyes, say a prayer or affirmation like, I am light. I am protected. I am guided toward growth and healing. Visualize a shield of white or golden light around your bed. These small acts anchor your soul in strength. Second, cultivate gratitude. Before bed, recall 3 things you are thankful for. This practice not only lifts your vibration, it repels negative forces that cannot survive in the frequency of love. And third, begin training your awareness. Practice reality checks during the day. Ask yourself, am I dreaming? Look at your hands. These habits carry into sleep and spark lucidity, allowing you to direct your nightly journey with purpose. Remember this, your soul never sleeps. It is learning, growing, and experiencing dimensions that go beyond imagination. The question is, will you remain unconscious of this gift, or will you awaken to it? Cayce tried to warn us not to dismiss our nightly journeys as meaningless. They are the very key to our spiritual evolution. So tonight, when you close your eyes, think of it not as rest, but as departure. You are stepping into realms where your true self is free, where dangers exist but so does infinite wisdom, and where the future of your soul and perhaps even of humanity is being shaped. The choice to awaken to this reality is yours, and once you do, your nights, your days, and your entire life will never be the same.